Sa zip9.com. This video, tutuloy natin yung ating series about polynomial functions, no? And kung napanood yung previous video natin, pinag-aralan natin kung ano ba yung concept ng zeros ng functions, no? And napag-aralan natin sa video na yun, pag sinabi natin zeros, pwede natin sabihin din na it's the same as saying the roots, no? Roots or zeros or the x-intercepts of the function. So, pare-pareho lang yung tatlong yun. Pare-pareho lang ibig sabihin. Okay, so here, mag-aaral tayo kung paano mag-solve algebraically of the roots of the function. Actually, ang pag-solve ng roots tsaka ng zeros, pareho lang, no? So, the rule is set y to 0 and solve for x. Okay, so for example, yung number 1, we have f of x equals 2x minus 10. We set y to 0. No? Ito yung y natin, di ba, yung value ng f of x. So, magiging 0 equals 2x minus 10. Baliktarin natin, no? Para medyo madaling, I'm more comfortable. This is correct, no? But mas maganda kung baliktarin natin para mas madaling isolve. Actually, pareho naman silang madali. I'm just comfortable with 0 at the right. So, pareho lang yan. Pinaliktad ko lang. So, para makuha natin yung value ng x, we have to add 10 both sides para mawala yung 10 dito. This becomes 2x. Mawala niya kasi nag-plus 10 tayo. And then we have 0 plus 10. We have 10. And then we divide both sides by 2. 2x divided by 2 is x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Now, 5 is a root. 5 is a 0. 5 is a 0 of f, no? Okay? So, yan ang interpretation natin dyan. Or, another way to say this is 5 is a root of f. Yung f is the name of our function, no? Kasi f of x siya. Ibig sabihin, 5 is a root of f. Or 5 is, another way of saying it is that the graph of f passes through x equals 5. Pare-pareho ibig sabihin niya ang tatlong yan. So, if we graph f of x to x minus 10, if we graph it to x minus 10, f of x equals 2x minus 10. So, anong nangyayari? The graph passes through x equals 5. Ito yung x natin, x-axis natin, di ba? So, this is x equals 5. So, tama yung ating solution, and this is the graphical interpretation. This is the graph of x equals 5. Okay, so what about the second example? So in number 2, we set g of x equals 0, becomes x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Diniretso ko na, equals g of x yan dapat. And then we set g of x to 0. This is a quadratic function, di ba? This is linear. Yung kanina, linear. This is quadratic. Quadratic. So, pag nakikita tayo ng quadratic equation, kasi naging 0 na siya, pag function equals g of x, anong ginagawa natin? Alala nyo pa? So, ang ginagawa natin, para makuha yung value ng x, we have to solve for x. We have to factor, pag factorable siya. Pag hindi, pwede tayo gumamit ng quadratic formula or completing the square. But here, I think this is factorable. This can be factored easily to x. The product is 4 and the sum is negative 5. So, I think this is easy to factor. Diba? So, the product is 4. Minus 1 tsaka minus 4, the product is 4. Negative 1 times negative 4 is 4. And then the sum, negative 1 plus negative 4 is negative 5. So this is the factor. Factors equal 0. So this becomes 0 if one of them or both of them is 0. So if this is 0, meaning x minus 1 equals 0, then x equals 1. So, pwede nyo i-test 1 minus 1 is 0. Kahit ano man number yan dyan, magiging equal siya sa 0. Or this becomes 0. No? X minus 4 is 0. We have x equals 4. Diba? 4 minus 4 is 0 times whatever number here. This is equal to 0. So, meaning, no, if we repeat these statements, we have 1 and 4 are zeros of, ano pangalan ng function natin dito? G. No, kasi g of x siya. Or 1 and 4 are roots, no, of G. Or the graph of G passes through what? X equals 1 and x equals 4. Okay, tingnan natin. Kung nagpa-pass through nga siya sa 1, 4. Ito yung kanina natin, no? Pwede natin yung burahin. We have g of x equals, ano yun? X squared minus 5x plus 4. Tama? X equals 1, tsaka x equals 4. Nagpa-pass through siya sa x equals 1, tsaka x equals 4. Meaning those are the zeros of G. Okay? So, x equals 1, x equals 4. Yan lang naman ibig sabihin ng roots, no? Or the zeros of the function. Next, our last example. I think we can get rid of this. We have h of x is equal to x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x. So we set h of x equal to 0. Diretso na tayo. X cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x equals 0. Medyo mahirap siya i-factor, but I think it's not that difficult, no? Kung makikita mo lahat sila may x. So we can factor out x here. Kung hindi pa kayo marunong mag-factor, pwede nyo panoorin yung ano natin, yung ating series on factoring, no? So we can factor out x. Matitira na lang dito is x squared plus 5x plus 6, diba? So equals 0. Pwede nyo i-check. Pag binalik natin yan, pag dinistribute natin, ito magiging sagot. So x cubed, x times 5x is x squared, and then x times 5x is 5x squared, and then x times 6 is 6x, equal to 0. So babalik siya. Sabihin tama tayo. And then we can again factor this one. I think this is very easy. Anong number na ang product ay 6 at ang sum ay 5? 2 tsaka 3, di ba? So x plus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. So mag-0 yan if one of them, or at least one of them is 0. So if this is 0, then x is equal to 0, di ba? If this is 0, pag 0 to, multiply mo siya sa lahat ng to, magiging 0 siya whatever these numbers are. So x plus 2 equals 0. What will be the value of x here para siya maging 0? X equals negative 2. And what about here? X plus 3 equals 0, then x equals negative 3. Ano ibig sabihin? No? Ito yung mga roots niya. So, 0, negative 2, and negative 3 are zeros of f. No. Not f, but h. H yung name ng function natin. That's one part. And another way of saying it, or 0, one way of saying it is negative 2 and negative 3 are roots of h, or the graph of h passes through what else? Passes through what? X equals 0, x equals -2, and x equals -3. So, okay, pwede natin i-graph. And tignan natin kung nagpa-pass through nga itong mga ito dyan. So, we delete this. This is from the previous example. So, we have h of x equals x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x. Tama ba tayo? Baka mali yung ating pinay. So, x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x. X cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x. It will pass through 0, -2, and -3. Okay, so yan yung ating graph. So, it passes through -2, -3, and 0. Okay, so I hope meron kayong natutunan dito sa video na to. I think yung pinakasusunod natin na challenge is paano ngayon kung ang graph natin or ang equation natin ay mahirap na i-factor. For example, ano na siya? Fourth power na o fifth power na. So, ano yung gagawin natin? No? So, yan yung ating siguro i-discuss sa susunod na video. Maraming salamat. I hope meron kayo natutunan sa video na to. See you in the next tutorial. By the way, gusto kayo invite sa sipnayan.com, no? Yung sa YouTube channel natin sa Sipnayan, pwede kayo mag-subscribe para every time na may meron tayong bagong video, then you can subscribe. And before tayo mag-end, ito pala ay linear, ito ay quadratic, ito ay cubic. At itong mga ito ay examples of polynomial functions. No? These are polynomial functions. Okay, so see you in the next tutorial.